Welcome to the WT Coaches Show. I'm your host, Cale Steed, alongside head volleyball coach Jason Scotch. And Coach, what a year for you. What the last couple weeks. I'm surprised your hair's not gray. I guess that's why you're wearing the hat. After all the exciting matches you've had.
Yeah, we're 30-2, and when I was telling the girls that it set me back because the season goes so fast, and as the roller coaster ride that our girls have done as far as their playing level, it's amazing that we're 30-2. But again, at the same time, is we're starting to see the one thing we're not as consistent as I thought, but the one thing that we do have is we got a lot more fight than I thought because we're winning these 5-gamers, and a lot of them are away from home. So I don't know. I'm very happy, and now we got to mentally reset for a conference tournament.
Before we get to that, let's talk about Texas Women's. You were down 0-2 again, just like kind of like the Angelo scenario. You said you were a bigger cheerleader than ever. Just kind of walk us through how the comeback.
Well, we preach. We want our kids to lead themselves, and I just feel like in a rebound sport we have to be a little bit different than a possession type sport. So like, in tennis and soccer, the coaches once the game happens don't really do much, and so you do most of your stuff at practice, and there's things that we have to work on, but the issue is when we come out, we don't have a sense of urgency, we don't get it. And part of that is the history of this conference, and we gotta get these kids to block that out. The conference is deep. It's not a one-horse race, a two-horse race anymore. So we go to these schools, and we don't do it as a coaching staff. We don't do anything with our team. But there's something goes on that people bring up the history, and the history is some of these teams are not going to be that good, and so I do believe that we were not pushing at the same level. When we were down in the locker room, I knew it was 100% our conviction to just go for every ball, and it wasn't really an X's and O thing. And so, before I could really say anything, we finally started seeing some stuff emerge as far as the players holding each other accountable. And it's not always pretty, but any team that wins knows it needs to be done, and they get it. And they came out, and I don't know how we won, to be honest. We were down 14-20 in set 3, and but I just think it shows you, we have some low lows, but I think it shows you our high highs because Texas Women's played amazing, and they're amazing. I think if you scratch off the first 10 matches of conference, I think we have a different picture as far as conference seeding and regional with that team. They're that good.
Wow. And a 6th straight regular season conference title. Congratulations.
Thank you.
And we'll talk more about that. Don't go away. We're talking about the LSC tournament here at the box after the break.
The wind can run, but it can't hide.
See your High Country Chevy dealers.
Welcome back, Buff fans, to the WT Coach Show. I'm your host, Cale Steed. Now, this week, big week for you. You're hosting again, the Lone Star Conference Tournament. You were telling us at the luncheon, the parity and the depth of this conference. This could be an amazing tournament.
Yeah, and it should be. From a fan or from a fan point of view, or someone that's not invested in a team winning,
me.
Yeah, or like me. Yeah, it should be really fun. And from the players, we tell the kids all the time, and go back to that TW match or the Angelo match. We were the ones in the first 2 sets that looked timid and not ready for the moment. But I just think if you're a championship caliber team or program or any of that kind of talk, you have to actually really like pressure, not cower from it or not just respond to pressure. You have to like it and want it. And this year, I truly believe, and in all the coaches in the conference believe, the top 5 seeds, any of the 5 can win it, which it makes it fun for a good weekend, meaning the 4 and 5 seed, and look how it matches up. It's funny how that happens in sports. The 4 and 5 seed, one of them beat us in 5, and the other team, women's, both of our matches were in 5 and we won. If Angelo and Abilene advance as the 2 and 3 seeds, they both went to 5 both matches, and one team won 15-13. They split, and so any team can make the finals. And when we played Abilene, we beat them pretty good, but it's not going to be the same Abilene. They handled Angelo, and I don't know. It's just going to be a fun tournament, and we'll see really what our team's like because there's not going to be a guaranteed W for any team.
Yeah, and before you even get to Angelo, Abilene, Texas Women's. You got to get through Kingsville. I mean, I know you didn't have. I know you beat them during the regular season, but you still got to go.
Well, and they took and they actually had 4 or 5 match points on Angelo. So that's what I mean. Even our 8 seed, the records are very misleading. Not speaking of Kingsville specifically, but the first 5 teams in our conference, all of them had significant marquee players with injuries that affected a couple weeks of their performance. And so that's why you can't go off the record. And Kingsville has a girl that, Kelsey Washington, is a freshman who's going to be a special player in the conference. And it's amazing what their coach has done in 1 year, because Kingsville struggled last year, and she was at Frank Phillips, and she's used to winning. So she's brought that mindset. So they're not going to care that we're the 1 seed. And again, if we want to win a tournament, we got to have that attitude that no one cares that we're WT. And I think it'll be fun. I think if you're a good volleyball fan, regardless of who you root for, you're going to see some good games.
All right, last question here, Coach, before we let you go is how important is this to have it in the box?
No question. No question. Like that Angelo match when we were down 0-2, I do believe that the crowd makes a difference. I mean, it got loud, and it just got intimidating. The girls, some of the girls say they don't hear the crowd, but I sometimes wonder about that, because you cannot help but hear that roar after a great kill or a good rally. So that can be, when it's this tight, I think that can be the X factor. And the other last is, I think this does not mean, I just think if it comes down to it, I think our girls have an edge with fitness, and then just not, and again, it's not a thing on the other teams, is the way we've worked our girls and the way we run the last couple minutes of practice. I don't think it's a coincidence that we look better at the end of matches, and that's how we're able to win. Now, we definitely stink it up at the beginning, but that Angelo match, we looked like it was the start of game 1. Our legs looked fresh and we're moving, and then same with the women's match. And so I believe sometimes in a 3-day tournament, you're going to play, theoretically you could play 15 games. Conditioning sooner or later has to be a factor. And not to say it's overwhelming in our favor, but I just think our girls, if it gets to that, advantage us, advantage box, and those 2 little, jumps in our favor could make the difference.
All right, Coach, and thanks for joining us.
Thank you.
One more week with you here, and thank you for joining us. For more LSC Volleyball Championship information, go to gobuffsgo.com. Web Director Johnny Story's done a great job getting that ready. For the WT Sports Network and Coach, I'm your host, Cale Steve.